I'm Kristen from 20 Footsteps Travel, and I'm going to show you the amazing things that we did during our few days in the Isle of Skye. Isle of Skye, although extremely popular, was one of the most beautiful places in the world that we visited, and I'm excited to share it with you. The first thing we did when we crossed over the bridge to Skye was drive straight to the Fairy Pools hike. It was late afternoon on a Friday in May, and the parking lot was packed. However, the beauty of it definitely explained the popularity. You're basically hiking through a mountain meadow, and there's several waterfalls and rivers along the way. We spent about 2 hours here, although you could do less or more. So, one tip. People say to allocate 1 to 2 hours for the Fairy Pools hike. And they say up to 2 hours, not because it takes 2 hours to hike, but because of all the times that you're going to want to stop and take pictures and even just take in the moment.
So if no.
The next day we headed over to the Staffin Dinosaur Museum, which was really cool and worth it. It contains dinosaur fossils that have been collected from around the Isle of Skye, as well as even some human artifacts from eras gone by. We love dinosaurs and we're big Jurassic Park fans, so we were glad we went. The owner's daughter was really helpful and taught us some fascinating details. From there, we drove over to Corran Beach. Sorry if I'm messing up the pronunciation, which is nearby the Staffin Dinosaur Museum, to look for dinosaur footprints on the beach. There's a sandy part of the beach, which is really nice in itself, but the dinosaur footprints are located over in the rocky area, and you'll see lots of other people looking for them too. After grabbing some lunch at a really cool restaurant nearby, we headed to the Glen hiking trail. This is probably the second most popular hiking trail on Isle of Skye after Fairy Pools. To be honest though, we preferred Glen to Fairy Pools. The views are very different but also spectacular. Most people hike along the loop trail that runs from the parking lot, and we did some of that, but we also decided to hike onto the hills, which had some pretty spectacular views as well. And if you want to, just follow the path. We had read that the Glen hike is very family friendly, and it is. It is more challenging with a toddler just because you're trying to watch them and make sure they're not going over the cliffs. It was a lot easier with our 12-year-old. Overall, I would say it is a good family friendly hike to do together as long as you watch your kids. Part of what I don't think gets said enough about Isle of Skye is the whole place is just so beautiful and picturesque that even just driving around is part of the experience. I would not cram too much into one day. Give yourself extra time to get places, as driving around is a little bit challenging. The roads are tiny and thin and not designed for the number of people that are now visiting there. So just give yourself extra time and make those stops, because the stops that we made along the way were some of the most beautiful pictures we got, and a big part of what we loved about the experience of being there. One of my favorite things that we did in Isle of Skye actually was doing the more random and obscure things near our Airbnb. We stayed at Eilean House, which is down in the more southwest corner of Isle of Skye. But wherever you stay, there might be sort of hidden gems nearby that are less popular, not the kinds of things you see on every blog post. And that was how we found this really nice beach where we saw seals basking on the rocks just beyond it. And we also went to some old ruins, and there was only one other family there. It was just a really nice experience and offered that more secluded, remote feel of Isle of Skye that we'd been looking for. So I'm not necessarily saying come out to these specific ruins if you're not already staying in the area. If it's way out of your way, I probably wouldn't, because there are things like this all over Skye. Find out where you're staying and look at Google Maps and just use the search feature to see what's around, because guaranteed there are ruins like this.
Taking a picture of him.